All right, what's going on, boys? We're live weekly NASCAR video that Coop and I do every week for the Sports Keg. Right now, if you're not subscribed to the Discord, you should do so. Go to the Twitter account. It's the pinned tweet. Subscribe, get in the Discord. Growing betting community that's got almost 200 people in it now, and we're giving out winners for free every single day. So get in there. So with that, I got my guy Coop with me. Last week, Coop got the Sports Keg Discord on Bubba Wallace to be the top Toyota at 70-1. That cashed. And Bubba to win the race at 20-1. That cashed. So Coop got us home last week at Kansas, and we got some incredible numbers there. And then tonight in the Discord, Coop got on Graxton at 4-1. We were on a private stream, and our guy Cola got us on Noah Graxton at 9-1 somehow. Brandon Cola doing the damn thing. So shout out to him for getting us home there. And away we go. Coop, you look tired. What's going on, my friend?
Yeah, man, exhausted, ready to hit the bed, as you would say. So.
I know. All right, let's power through. All right, so overall thoughts last week at Kansas. What'd you think?
It was fucking horrible, man. I mean, got a 70-1, got a 20-1, so it was bad. So it was great. Bubba just hung around, and then at the end of stage 2, his car came to life, man. And he had a rocket. Probably the best car I've seen since Sam Meyer tonight, man.
Yeah, you definitely had the Discord on the right side. Yeah, tonight for sure. I think he had the best car. He had the best car in the race at 12-1.
Yeah. And so excited for tomorrow night because we saw that high line come in. About halfway through this race, Noah and Sam, really worked it hard and helped. There were other people too, man, but they showed what you can do with that high line now, and that's going to make the race, quite interesting tomorrow. Because last night I think it was kind of hard to figure out who had the best truck, but tonight it was easy to see that Sam Meyer had the best car.
I agree.
And hopefully, we can, figure that out tomorrow night, because that's the hard thing about this race is, if they're just running that one bottom lane, it just becomes a track position race.
Yeah, but you could still pass. You could still
bit, man, a little bit, but it was hard to tell who had the fastest car. Like last night, a lot of people say, Chandler Smith had the best truck. I'm not so sure he had the best truck, man. He had one of the best trucks easily, but Majeski showed at the beginning of the race. He dropped 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th.
Yeah, he stuck around.
And then he stuck around, but he got that clean air, and he was just as good as Chandler Smith was when he had the clean air. And then Chandler and Stuart Friesen, like once they got into, I think they got back to 14th, 13th, they got up to 7th, 8th. But like there was a restart, and they were both in 7th and 8th, and that's where they finished. So I don't know, but I'm just so happy that other line come in, and I'm so happy there's no rain in the forecast to wash that shit out. So happy that NASCAR's not putting any more of that peanut butter jelly shit on the track. It's going to be awesome tomorrow night.
Yeah, so tomorrow night is mine and yours favorite race of the year, obviously, the Bristol night race. It's just the best race. Man. There's just nothing better than Bristol at night.
You got to go, man.
That I know I do. That little half-mile track where they are absolutely flying, whipping around the corner at like 130 down the stretch they get up to. So I mean, yeah, I love everything about it. It's my favorite race it's been.
You know that you can bet in Tennessee. You can bet in Virginia, and they have a casino down there too.
Right by the track.
I'm not sure how close it is to the track, but I know there's one in Bristol.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If there is a casino by the racetrack, that could very well be our first sports keg trip as a group.
Because like it's really country, man. Like I know you're not familiar with the country, but it's really country, man. like down there.
I am not a country bumpkin.
Like there aren't, it's like houses from 1950s and 60s that are built all around the track, that what there are there. And like there's no like fast food and shit there. It's just out in the middle of fucking the woods.
All right, so let's talk about the race now. I know that you're already on two people that you threw in the outside market. All right, great. So we'll talk about that. But first, here's where I'm at, and then I'll see where you're at. If I was, first of all, let's put Kyle Busch. Let's talk about him quickly. If there was ever a track on this circuit for Kyle Busch to get right, it's Bristol. I mean, he owns Bristol. He is the best race car driver here, probably in the last 30 years, right? So you would figure if there's ever a time where somebody's going to get right, it's him here. And the odds they're giving you, I mean, what do you think the odds were? I can tell you because I know. What do you think the odds were, Coop, like 4 years ago to when Kyle Busch would be at Bristol?
350.
It was like 4.5 to 1. 4.5 to 1, sometimes 5. With him at Bristol. So they're giving you 8 to 1. Now, granted, he's been a shit show. He's cost us all a ton of money this year when we've backed him. But I agree with you and your thinking and where you're at, where like there's value on Kyle Busch. That's your first bet that you made, right?
Yeah, like every week, and Sunday night or Monday morning, I'd take the drivers and make my own little odds boards, like what I would rank them at, not necessarily what I think they're going to come in, but what I would rank them at. And he was my number 2 driver at 700, so I was happy.
So who did you have as the favorite?
Chase 650.
Okay, so let me tell you where I'm at. If I was going to pick 4 drivers to win this race, it would be, I think the books post practice and qualifying did a really good job with the top 3 because I think Denny, Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, and I'm kind of iffy on that 4th spot. Like historically, Blaney has been so good here. So like I don't mind the price tag on Ryan Blaney at 12 to 1. Chase Elliott's 10 to 1. He's always live at Bristol. I don't really know who my 4th guy would be, Coop. Like I think there's a couple guys, but I think that the top 3 guys on the board definitely deserve to be the top 3 guys on the board.
Yeah, I don't disagree one bit. A little worried about Denny Hamlin and his steering issue. He said he doesn't know, if it's fixed or if it's going to pop up or whatever. But if it does pop up, he's done. He said.
So I think my favorite pick. I think Kyle Larson's going to win this race again, especially considering what we just saw Noah Gragson doing at the top of that track. Like I think that he would be the guy that I think deserves to be the favorite to win this race right now. I think personally.
But
I
can't disagree with that. I don't know if he's going to win, but I can definitely see him being the odds-on favorite.
I like the Busch play at 8 to 1. What did you get? Elliott at 10 to 1.
No, Elliott was at 8.
Okay, so
And
that's
then
probably where he
Blaney
qualified.
Blaney at 15.
Yeah. Now, what? Yeah, Ryan Blaney, another guy where man, he hasn't been able to really. Has he won a race this year, Coop? No, right?
No, yeah. Well, he
No.
won the All-Star race.
So he hasn't been able to get over the hump, but man, he's good here. He could definitely win.
Mm-hmm.
He could definitely win. So you you're not going to bet Kyle Larson? I think I'm going to bet him. I think I'm going to bet that 7-1 number.
I don't know. I mean, it's between him and Harvick probably.
You expect Harvick to contend for the win?
Yeah, and I like the fact that there's multiple grooves now for Harvick because I think before, if we had saw a race kind of like last night, he would be trying to really make a strategic positional change at some point in the race, and sometimes they work out really well, but sometimes they work out, not so well. So I was kind of thinking that, if we were going to have that type of track, uh, he was either a boom or bust type of play. But, after you get past the Busch brothers, I think he's the best here historically. He runs very good here. He's been very good the last several weeks. He's just had some issues. I mean, he very well might have beat Bubba Wallace last week. We don't know.
You know what? You know what sticks out to me about Kevin Harvick this week? The respect in the market. I mean, he's 8.5 to 1 at DK. He has
Yeah,
not been 8.5 to 1. I mean,
he
we were.
opened at 12, and within a couple minutes, he was 10.
I think that speaks volumes, considering that me and you have hit him at 20 to 1, and
Mm-hmm.
did he win? Did he win a second race this year?
Yeah, he's won 2.
Yeah, we hit them both. So, oh no, we didn't. No,
hit the second
no,
one.
the first one destroyed us. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hit the second one. Right. Yeah. But yeah, the betting market, I mean, a ton of respect. How did you think that he looked in practice and qualifying? I mean, he was second.
Let me ask you this.
25 lap average. He was
Oh,
100th of a second off Kyle Larson.
do those numbers mean anything now?
I don't know. I don't
Because the track is completely different right now than what it was before. It's completely different.
It's true.
So, I have a hard time, do those numbers mean anything?
I just feel really good about the top of that track coming in and Kyle Larson being 7-1. I don't think he should.
Tomorrow it's going to come in even quicker than it did today because, it was there tonight. It's going to take a little bit of time to get it in, but it won't take long.
Is 7-1 the best number you see?
BetMGM had them at their numbers were stupid. They have them at 550, and FanDuel has them at a pretty low number too, I think.
Yeah, he's 7-1 at DraftKings. I'm going to shop it, but if that's the best number that I can find, I'm going
650.
to bet him. I'm going to bet him to win the race. I like where you're at. So, but
I don't think I can add 2 drivers at the lower odds.
No, you can't. If Denny has no issues, I think he's got a phenomenal chance to win the race. But you know what? I bet you him and Larson probably have an equal chance to win this race, and one of them is 5.5 to 1, and the other one is 7-1. So
the thing we don't know about Denny though is, what kind of long run speed he had, because he didn't run any, long speed laps or anything. So, I mean, traditionally he's good managing tires and shit like that. So, but yeah, it's going to be great, man. It's going to be great.
All right,
yeah,
so
if it's for me, it's Harvick and Larson
Harvick
in the
and
lower
Larson.
tier.
Yeah.
In the lower tier. I just
So
don't know which one.
You're going in with Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott at 8-1, and then Ryan Blaney at 15-1, and you're probably going to take one more guy. I am going to take Kyle Larson, and then I'm probably going to take a couple of the guys that you have because I agree with where you're at. I don't know who though. I don't know who, but I'll put it in the Sports Keg Discord, whatever I get on. In the top 3 or top 5 market, is there anything?
Whoa.
Oh, what? Okay. Yeah.
So, like, you have no interest in anybody else?
Yeah, I just said that I'm probably going to take a couple more guys. I'm just not sure who right now.
Who are your thoughts?
Oh, my thoughts are Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney, Kevin Harvick, and Denny Hamlin. I don't.
Yeah, but like that's what I meant. Like you're giving up on the rest of the drivers. Like you don't think anybody else can win?
Well, yeah. Well, you can't fucking bet everybody. We're all,
Yeah, I know. I know you can't, but like
you're already going to be at 4 if you add Larson or Harvick.
Be all right, man.
I mean, like,
you don't have any interest in Logano?
I mean, do I think he could win? Yeah, Joey's good here. I think he could win, but I don't think his car will be as good as the drivers that we've talked about, probably.
What about Reddick?
That's interesting because earlier in the week, I wanted nothing to do with him, and I completely threw him out. Right. Now, I mean, if the top comes in that well tomorrow night again, which it should, I mean, he's the second best driver on the track that rides the wall. There's no doubt about that.
I guess the other piece too, like how much credit can you give to that? Because like how much of the wall are you really riding?
I mean, like Noah went around one half of the track. He was going around the wall at the end of that race. That one of the turns.
Yeah, we just got to watch Reddick because I'm with you. Had no interest in him at the beginning of the week. He doesn't do well here in the past, but this track could be a little bit different here than what it has been the last couple of years. So,
were you surprised? Were you surprised Eric Almirola won the pole?
Of course, I was surprised, but like the guy does really well on concrete.
Here's what I'll say about this race tomorrow. If you look at the 30-lap average from today, and now forget about like who was better than who. Don't look at it from that perspective. Look at the numbers. Like Kyle Larson ran a 15.52 on the 30. Kevin Harvick ran a 15.53. That's 1/100th of a second. I mean, like there are going to be competitive cars tomorrow.
Right, but like I'm trying to get away from looking at those numbers because, like, does 30 laps mean anything? Like,
yeah, you know whether or not your car has
right, but like
in the first.
But like at 30 laps, like isn't your car going to be completely different at 60? And it's not unfeasible that you can run 60.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right.
Right. So that's why I kind of
the reason why I brought it up was how close all these numbers are. They're all relatively close to each other.
Did you look at Ryan Blaney's numbers?
Yeah,
Like
he ran
I don't know if they're true or not.
in the 25 lap average. Larson ran a 15.51 and he ran a 15.55.
Yep. But look at his 20 and 25 lap average.
Yeah, he was like just about a 100th of a second slower than Larson. So he's right there.
Don't compare him to anybody else. Just look at Ryan Blaney's numbers. I don't know
Oh,
if they're
yeah.
right.
Oh, why? 15.55, 15.55, 15.552. Well, here's what I'll say. It did not look like the tires mattered at all today and yesterday. I mean, like these guys were running fast times on tires that had 100 laps on them. Easy.
Right, but is there anybody else there who has that type of number?
Yeah. Like Logano, 15.51, 15.52, 15.52. I mean, yeah, there are guys. Yeah, I mean, Larson ran 15.47, 4.8, 4.8 on 10, 15, 20. So I mean, yeah, they're running it. Yeah, Kyle Larson he's definitely on my ticket. I'm betting him, and I think I like your play on Harvick at 8.5 to 1. Like right now, wouldn't you rather be holding a Kevin Harvick ticket in your pocket at 8.5 to 1 than a Chase Elliott ticket at 8 to 1?
100%.
Yeah. So like I like him as a second option. I don't know what to do with Kyle Busch. Like I totally understand why you bet him. It's the right play. At 8 to 1 at this track, it's the right play. That being said, the fucking guy can't get out of his own way this year. Like it's scary because chances are that money is going to be lost money. It's probably going to go down in flames like it does every fucking time we back them. But man, it's hard to pass up 8 to 1 at Bristol.
Yep. But I mean, you're going to have a little bit of time to think about it.
Especially when his car's been good. It's like him not running well hasn't been because the car hasn't been good. The car's been very good. He just has no fucking luck at all.
Right. Well, some of it's his own fault. Some of it's
Yeah.
the fault of others. But
That's true. That's fair. Yeah, so like I like the number on Blaney at 12 to 1. What did you think about Chase Briscoe today?
I screwed myself out of some Chase Briscoe because I wanted to bet him in a group, but I just didn't pull it. I wanted to wait. I thought he was going to be good. I didn't think he was going to be like. I thought he was going to be like top 10. I didn't think he was going to be like top 3.
Yeah, he looked really good.
The thing with Briscoe is he's done pretty good here in the Xfinity, but like he's just been so bad. And you know, Stuart Haas is pretty good this week. All their cars were good, obviously. So I just don't know if I can trust him. I can't bet him whatever he's at 15 to 1.
Yeah, that's a low number.
I mean, I just can't imagine seeing the guy stay up there for 500 laps. Can you?
No, probably not.
So, like, if he's good, all right, at the beginning of the race, when he falls back and he, falls to 25, maybe we'll look at him.
What do you think about Almirola? Do you think he's live? Like, does he have a winning car, you think?
No. I think you got to consider him in DFS, though.
Marty 25 to 1, Byron 30 to 1. What about Chastain at 20 to 1? Any interest on these guys?
I'll take the minus 2,000 that somebody puts him in the wall.
What about Kez at like 50 to 1?
Possibly. I just don't know because like I'm getting rid of the practice speeds, man. I don't want anything to do with them. So because like even the practice and the qualifying speeds, like it all just depended upon when you went out. Like, the track got better and better the later and later you were going.
Yeah. All right, that's basically covers the outright market. What do you think about the top threes and the top fives? Anything on the board now that you like?
I can't bet top threes and top fives just because of the randomness of the race.
Top tens.
If I was gonna bet a top five, it would be either Chris Buescher or Ricky Stenhouse.
12-1 for Buescher to hit the top five, huh?
I think the race sets up well for Stenhouse because he likes to ride that top. So I think his top 10 is like a 360 or something. So I don't know, but he would be the one. Him and Buescher. The other one that I don't mind is AJ Allmendinger because he was fast and he was in the first group.
I don't mind that at 3.5 to hit the top 10.
So I just don't know if it's, like is 3.5 really enough for a top 10 when you're taking those chances on them? Because they very easily could wreck out, or I don't know.
Did any of the weekly specials that you like?
I went through them earlier. There wasn't anything. Let me double check them. Anything you saw?
I mean, they're only offering you plus 125 for a Joe Gibbs car to win the race.
Yeah, it's horrible.
That's so bad. Denny Hamlin. Yeah, there was one that I liked actually. Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch to both finish in the top five at like plus 330. The number's a little low, but they're so good.
You froze up.
They're
buddy.
so good. For the what?
You were freezing up.
Oh, sorry. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, you were liking Denny. I don't know. I just can't trust Denny because of those random. I don't know. That steering shit really has me concerned.
What about Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott to hit the top five at 4-1?
I think I'd rather take the other one at 3-3. I don't know about Elliott, and he was talking about. They were talking about how his car wasn't turning that good, and things of that nature.
Toyota finishes 1-2 at 6-1. That's not bad, bro.
I don't know. I want more.
It could happen though, for sure.
Oh, it could, but so could Ford, so could Chevy.
What do you think about Will Byron this week?
Traditionally, he's not been good here this week. I mean, at this race, so I'll watch him live, but I don't have a lot of, like I think he's going to do really good type of vibes.
So top manufacturer Chevy.
The other driver that's really good here is Eric Jones. Got to watch him.
Eric Jones.
Yeah, he has 3 top fives in his last 5 races here.
He's 20-1 to be the top Chevy.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Kyle Larson's 2-1. I mean, you can't bet him. That's on bet.
It's gonna be tough to beat him.
Yeah, that would be the one guy I would take in the group, but not at that price.
And then, like after that, I mean, I think it's wide open, which makes it difficult to make a bet.
Right. Kevin Harvick plus 260 and Blaney at 4-1. I don't mind those two. I mean, the number's not great on Harvick, but I think those two have a better chance to be the top 4 than everybody else. I'll say that. I
don't know. I could easily see Briscoe or Logano being there.
I mean, yeah, it could happen, sure.
Like I don't know. It's just too much randomness for me at those numbers.
Hamlin's plus 160, Kyle plus 260, Bell plus 260 to be the top Toyota. Well, you took Kyle Busch at plus 280, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's not bad. It's probably only
it's a 3-car race basically, barring
right.
any, craziness.
Right. Yeah, it's like taking one guy in a 3-man group.
And like I just don't have enough confidence in Truex, Bubba, or Ty to, pull the trigger on them at those numbers. Because Denny and Kyle, especially Kyle's really good here.
So looking at the head-to-heads, I like Kyle Larson at even money heads up against Denny Hamlin. I don't mind that. You're going to give me even money on probably the best car in the race to beat Denny Hamlin? I mean, I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I really don't see much.
They didn't come back with the one I bet, which was Blaney against Reddick. I don't see it.
No, I don't see it on DK either. They got Chastain against Reddick now.
What do you think about Kyle Busch against Chris Bell? Like, I think the books are giving Chris Bell too much respect.
Yeah, that's surprise. Well, you know why? Because he's been the best Toyota this year. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, I know why,
but I mean, yeah, I think minus 105. There's probably some value on Busch heads up if everything goes right for him and it's not a disaster. I'm confident that the car will be good enough for him to move forward. Definitely.
I kind of like, I won't bet it because it's too much of a minus number. 110 Trace Briscoe over Amarola. I just think Briscoe hangs in much longer than Amarola.
Yeah, I could see that.
I don't mind Reddick at minus 105 against Martin Truex. I mean, Truex looked horrible today, and Truex typically doesn't run well here, but Reddick doesn't either. That would just be, my love for Reddick because of the high line, but don't even know if it's going to pay out for him.
If I could have got Kevin Harvick at even money against Chris Bell, I would have bet that.
Asshole. I stared at it all week.
Minus 110. What was it? Was it even money?
Yeah, it was even money, and Bell was minus 120.
Oh.
That was one of my mistakes because I was thinking that Bell would qualify better than Harvick. And they ended up being right next to each other.
Looking at the groups, did you bet any of these groups?
Yeah, I bet Group C. I took Blaney at plus 250.
Against Logano, Byron, and Truex?
Yeah. Logano, obviously, I think can win it, but
I think these groups suck this week. They're not even giving you.
Well, the other one that I was staring at was Group B all week.
Taking Harvick.
Yeah.
It's only 2 to 1.
Yeah. Well, he was 220, but.
Yeah, our guy Happy is back, Coop. Like, he's back.
I mean, I still might take it. I don't know.
Nobody in that last group can't beat Chase Briscoe.
Well, Chase Briscoe was the one I wanted to take. He was plus 350, I think.
Yeah, he's plus 170.
Yeah. So
unbettable.
Yeah, I think Suarez has been decent here. Bowman was, fast today, but Bowman's traditionally not good. But, I can totally see Briscoe winning that, and I think he should be the favorite.
Eric Jones is plus 170 to hit the top 10.
I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
again, like, I think you could take shots on Jones, Dinger, Busher, Ricky. One of them will probably finish there, but
Yeah, one of them will get in the top 10. We'll sneak it.
I don't know if two of them will.
No.
We'd have to have a lot of chaos for three of them to get there, I think.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they could be in the chaos, too.
Yep. So not like from a prop perspective, it's a pretty shitty week. Like outright market aside, I don't see a lot here that I like at all.
Yeah, I mean, I like the ones that I got on prior to the race, but yeah, you're right. The props are not the best by any means.
Not this week. We're like every week, you and I will find something on this show that will be like excited about. I mean, there's just nothing here this week at all.
No.
Yeah, so I think the outright market is going to be the place to be. So Coop's on Busch, Elliott, Blaney right now to win the race, and he's going to add one more. I'm on Larson at 7-1. I'm going to be on Harvick at 8.5-1. And I'm probably going to take one more guy, but I have to decide whether it's going to be Kyle Busch, Ryan Blaney. I mean, are there any sixth? When will we know if Denny Hamlin's going to be okay with that steering issue, Coop?
Once he starts driving his car.
Yeah, so like I can't bet him. I can't bet him at 5.5.
I mean, I don't know what the deal is with it, but whatever it is, they weren't able to fix it, or they didn't want to give up track position to fix it. Is what I think it was.
Does that make you feel like it's not a major thing?
Well, I mean, it happened right away, and I mean, when they came in and they did whatever, he went back out, and that's when he put down that fast-ass lap. So. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a mechanic by any means. I don't even know what the problem is. So it's hard to.
Isn't that enough for you to not bet him pre-race?
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah, the number on him too is.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we get a better number live. You never know. He could drop back.
Yeah, I mean, do you think you get a better number live on Larson?
Probably not. It could happen, but I'm going to say probably not.
I think it could, because do you think the top line is going to be there right away?
I think the top line will be in 20 by the time they get to the 25% mark in the race.
So like 80 laps, 75 laps, whatever.
Yeah. How many laps is it tomorrow?
500.
So by the time they get to lap 125,
all right. So
it will be in. Yeah.
Don't you see Larson like being the first guy to go up there?
Yeah.
And it not being the greatest, and he could lose some positions.
I mean, but don't you think that he won't go up there until he knows he's going to be good?
Well, somebody's got to go up there, because if nobody goes up there, it's not going to come back in.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think listen. Could you get him? Like, could he go down pit road and get a penalty? Could he blow a tire? Could he spin with no damage where he had like Mayer, where he had to work his way back up the field and you were able to get a better price? Yeah, that could definitely happen. But
I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about him, going from, what's he starting, 7th to 12th.
I think that there's a better chance that he runs relatively issue free and he's okay. And that number goes down. And considering the fact that he won here last year, I think that the books will be faster on the trigger to bring him down as opposed to bringing him up. Now, that doesn't mean anything to you and me because they're completely different cars, but the books will see that he won last year. And I do think that that will mean something to what they do with this lab number. I'm fine with it. I think he's got the best car in the race. If you're going to give me the best car in the race at 7-1, I'll take it. Especially after what we saw Graxon doing tonight.
So you're more into the practice numbers.
No.
Well, he's the best car in the race.
Oh, well, I mean, he did look like, at least in practice, that he was. But, I mean, he's just good. He won. He's phenomenal here. Maybe he's not Kyle Busch, but he's very, very good here.
No, I don't think he's phenomenal here.
I think he's good here, Coop.
He won a race last year.
Yeah, but how many times has he been in a position to win the race late where he's been spun?
At Bristol? I don't think a lot.
It's happened.
I don't think so.
It's happened to him, and it's happened to Chase Elliott.
I don't know. I get the high line, all that.
I mean, if he's going to be running that high line for 350 laps, I think he's going to be hard to beat considering how fast he was today.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means for Tyler Reddick, but I think that it means something for Kyle Larson because his car seems to be more competitive this week, at least.
Career-wise here, he's raced here 13 times. He has 3 top 5s, 8 top 10s.
But that doesn't mean – but what I'm saying to you is, like, things that happen in the race could cause really good drivers to look really bad. That's what I'm saying.
Like, I don't know if I would rank him as my top 5 driver here at Bristol.
No, historically, when you got guys like Kevin Harvick and Hamlin and Kyle Busch, probably not. But he's good. He's good enough to win, especially if they're going to put that much pavement down near the wall or rubber. I mean, sorry.
I just think he could struggle at the beginning because I know he's going to go to the top right away.
Yeah, I agree with that. That could happen. Because, like you said, you got to go up there to in order to put the line in. So, yeah, maybe that could happen.
I mean, once you get past the Busch brothers, and then Harvick really too, who's a distance from the Busch brothers, like it's really wide open. It's like almost like a restrictor type of plate race.
Kurt Busch still isn't racing because of the concussion.
I don't think he's going to race the rest of the year.
What's wrong with him? Is it the concussion or he just doesn't want to race?
No, he hasn't been cleared by the doctors.
Wow. He must have got fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Joey Logano's good here. Ryan Blaney is good here. I mean, he's always in a position late here. Whether or not he can get the win, I think is a different story.
I don't know. I think after Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, and then Kevin Harvick, I think all of them are pretty much equal, and it just matters who has the car.
You don't think that like you wouldn't put Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott above some of these drivers here?
I mean, Chase.
I mean, listen, it's not Martinsville for Denny, but he's been solid here.
mean, he's got 15 top tens, so he's like half of his races are a top 10. So yeah, he would be in the top 5, definitely. Definitely. But I mean, I think if you look at it historically, like you're just picking hairs between like a Hamlin, an Elliott, a Logano, a Blaney, a Larson. You know, those 4 or 5 drivers. I think they're the next best after Busch and Harvick historically.
Do you think tomorrow, clean air with this new car, especially on short tracks, the leader gets out, the guy in second hangs around, and then they start to put time on the cars from 3 back? If that happens tomorrow, do you think a car from 3rd place back will be able to catch the leader?
Oh yeah, I mean Kyle Busch caught the leader in the spring. I mean, look, these guys know what they saw tonight, that if you can run the high line, it's really hard to be passed. And in order to be passed running the high line, somebody has to hit you.
Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely. After
because,
tonight.
You know, Brandon Jones had, you know, fresh tires versus what, 90 to 100 lap tires.
Yeah,
And
he just timed the bump wrong.
Well, not only that, but like when he went to the top and he got like to the quarter panel, like he still couldn't get past him.
Yeah, but he got to like the rear fender. He almost cleared him on one turn, but
what I'm saying is you're going to have to put your fender to him because he tried those a couple laps to get past him by going to the quarter panel, and he wasn't able to pull. He wasn't even able to pull even with him.
Do you think tires matter tomorrow? Because they didn't matter in the truck race.
No, I do think tires matter tomorrow. Now that there's multiple lanes, how much they matter, I don't know. I mean, because you know that high line was really good for you know, the cars that could run it and made it hard to pass. So I think at the end of the race, the high line was more important than the tires.
Yeah,
because there's no way that Noah could have run the bottom. So like if you get stuck on the bottom and you have old tires, you're gonna get passed. It's gonna be a freight train pass you too. Because at the beginning of that race where, you know, the drivers wanted to be on the bottom and you didn't want to be on the top, because if you were on the top, you were going to get freight train passed. It was the exact opposite at the end of the race.
You know who I think wins the race tomorrow, Coop?
Kyle Larson.
Kevin Harvick. I think he wins the race.
Oh, you
I think. Why? I mean,
you just spent 45 minutes, like, you know, grabbing.
Yeah, listen, I like Kyle. I like Kyle Larson. I'm on him. I'm on him at 7-1. At the price tag, you have to be on him. I'm sorry, 7-1's a fair price. For that reason alone, I'm on him. Kevin Harvick, though, man, momentum matters in NASCAR. When you're running hot and you're running well, you just continue to run well, and he's going to be in those top 2 rows late in this race. And yeah, I think that he's going to win the race. I think it's going to be between him and Kyle. Like, granted, if chaos doesn't take out everybody. But
I think you're just baiting me now. You're baiting me to make my last pick, Kevin Harvick.
No, I'm not. I think it. I'm telling you. I think you were right with Blaney. I think that you were right taking Busch. I don't know about. I don't like the Chase Elliott call so much. I'm off Elliott tomorrow. I'm off.
Yeah. I would be too, but there's nothing I can do.
But I think it's gonna come down to that Denny, Kyle, Harvick, Blaney. I think
I think there's going to be some surprise drivers.
Yeah. You know what? Like, I bet you at some point in the race, Joey will peek his head up there. He'll be like 12-1, and we'll be thinking about it. Is it worth getting a little piece of Joey at 12-1 live? Yeah, I'm sure that there are definitely going to be drivers up there that we don't expect, for sure. But I think that Denny, Larson, Harvick, I think they're going to be.
It's almost become like a road course because the first stage and the second stage are 125 laps, and if there's a caution, let's say at like lap 100, like, do you pit and then try to run it out through stage 2, or do you wait to the end? Like, what's more important, track position or getting them stage points?
Andrew in the chat says running so hot. Really, Jay? Bro, listen, first of all, Kevin Harvick is phenomenal at the racetrack. And the last 8 weeks, 10 weeks, his car has been phenomenal. And momentum matters in NASCAR 100%. That's why Kyle Busch can't get out of his own fucking way. And that's why Kevin Harvick for the last 2 months has been on fire. Yeah, it matters.
Literally.
Literally burst into flames one race. But if you throw that out of there, if you throw that race out, yeah, he's going to be there. He's going to be there late. And you know what? We haven't really spoke much about him. Chris Bell's got a good chance to be there late, because that car's been phenomenal for 5 months. So, yeah.
I think I'm just not seeing Chris Bell. Maybe I'm oblivious to it.
Well, listen, I wouldn't bet him at 8-1. I'll tell you that. But I think he could be there late. I think he's got a chance. If he was 15-1, maybe I'd take a shot. But, like, I think he's unbettable at 8-1. I think you got to throw Denny out. And you got to throw the number on Bell out. The 3 bettable numbers to start off is Larson, Busch, and Harvick for sure. And then Blaney, I like the call on Blaney, even though the poor guy hasn't won a race all year. But I don't mind the call. He's really good here. But I think you're right. Well, yeah, but I mean that doesn't count. We'll have some surprise drivers up there for sure. That I'm sure we'll be looking to get a piece of if we have to. But I'm definitely betting Larson and Harvick, definitely. And I'm gonna add one more guy, but I don't know who. I don't know if I can bet Kyle Busch, Coop. Like, I know why you bet him, but I don't know if I could bring myself to do it with how much fucking money that guy cost us this year. Like, Yago asked me if you still have the Kyle Busch sign that I bought you, please throw it in the garbage and get it out of the house.
Maybe like you need to hang it up.
Hang it up?
Maybe that's the problem.
It's buried in a closet right now.
Next to those shirts?
Yeah. I got like a dozen of these shirts that I mean, it's unbelievable. You just grab a fresh one every day. So, all right. So that's where we're at.
No, so now that you've tooted the horn on Harvick so much.
Yeah.
And, you like Blaney, no interest in the top 4 between the two?
Yeah.
I don't think I can do it.
Well, the number plus 260 is a really low number to take on Harvick. Like, I could see you saying, what's a good hedge off a Kevin Harvick win bet? Kind of taking Logano and Blaney to be the top Ford and trying to beat them at 4-1 and 5-1. Because I have way more faith in Joey Logano being there at the end than I do in Chase Briscoe or Eric Almirola. Like, I could see you going that route, especially if you're holding a ticket on Harvick to win at plus 850. Like, it's not an awful hedge to take Blaney and Logano.
I mean, Amarola's raced here 24 times and has 4 top 10s.
I mean, he's going to fall through like a stone.
He's led 3 laps.
In 24 races?
Yeah, 3 laps.
Yeah, I mean, come on. So throw him out. But, yeah, I can't take him at plus 260. It's too low.
Briscoe finished 13th last year. All his other races were in the Xfinity.
What's Joey's stats at Bristol?
They're average. He's finished in the top 10 times out of 25.
That's not great either, Joe.
That's like what I was saying is, like, once you get past Busch and Harvick, like all these other drivers, their stats aren't that great. It's just a matter of who has the car that night.
Yeah. But you still can't pull the trigger on Harvick at plus 260. We've been betting him all year, Coop, at like plus 450.
Say that again?
We've been betting Harvick to be the top forward at 4-1 all year long.
Yeah.
It's hard to take him at plus 260.
Yeah.
I think that's the guy you add though to your 3 guys.
You're talking me off Larson again, man.
Oh, you don't have Larson. That's right. And by the way, he's now 6.5 to 1 at DK. So I hope people hit that 7 to 1.
Did you?
Yeah, of course I did. But I have not hit Kevin Harvick yet. I should probably do that. All right. Hopefully that goes back up to 7 to 1 if people watching didn't get it.
I doubt it.
All right. I guess that's where we're at. Now Coop's got to go write the playbook. Tomorrow we'll be live at 4:00 for the Keg Cast. We got the UFC starts at 4. What time's the race start, Coop?
7:30.
We got that, and then we got college football going on all night long. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, 4:00, right back here. Aside from that, hope you guys crush, do it responsibly. We are out. Later.